G'day everyone, Hobbit81 here and welcome back to HobbitGaming. Well, what are we going to be doing today? Well, only I really know, but that's because this has been post-recorded, the audio, and I'm having to use my headphone microphone instead of my Blue Snowball because Astroneer just says nope. Here we are researching the hydrazine jetpack. I think it has to be one of my favourite items actually in the game so far, because it just makes getting around the base so good. You can see our bytes still slowly ticking up there because of the tiny little automated mining operation we have set up down in the tunnel. I think that's a very clever way to get a couple of passive bytes coming in. Unfortunately, I kind of missed all the Halloween stuff and all the Christmas stuff too. It has been a while. But in this episode, we're actually going to be going to, I think it's Atrox. I always get the planets mixed up because we need to make the portable oxygenator. Here we go, I'm actually getting some hydrazine for my little jetpack. I have a nice little supply up here that I use to power our spaceship. And I can get that to attach to my backpack. You should see, yep, here we go, as you try and use it, it loads in the hydrazine. So that's the fuel we've been creating in the previous episodes. A very useful resource indeed. See, you can fly around. And if you actually put two on, you get some really good lift. There we go, we can put some extra ones on the backpack, and then you've got fuel for days. Yep, get rid of those. One thing to note about hydrazine, which is something that I almost always forget, is that it is explosive. So you do need to be a little bit careful with it. And yeah, so we're just getting things set up, ready to go to Atrox, because, as we're about to see, the next thing that we want to research and unlock is the portable oxygenator. I actually spent about 3 or 4 minutes looking through my backpack here. That's why we have the little bit of transition. And yep, unlocked now. Nano Carbon Alloy. I now need to try and work out how to make that. And if you can see how much I need a portable oxygenator, I'm currently suffocating. As you can see from the red around the screen. I suddenly realised, I'm like, yeah, that would have been embarrassing. So the portable oxygenator requires nanocarbon alloy. And if we have a look in the Astropedia, I start looking at the titanium alloy, because I think that's one of the things you need. Yeah, you need titanium alloy, steel and helium. The alloy requires titanium, graphite and nitrogen. Sorry, graphene, not graphite. Always get those two a little mixed up. And I believe it's helium that is the one you can only get from Atrox. So yeah, we have to make a trip over there. It is definitely the least hospitable place that I have been to so far in this game. I think it is the most dangerous planet. We're going to take some tethers with us, because tethers are never a bad thing. I also wanted to show off my little power setup here. I'm really pleased with the big wall of power up there. I've also added in some splitters where you can control the power flow. And you can see up there I've got the big medium batteries and the smaller batteries. And up the very top there you saw actually the solar panels opening. We have some little batteries you can pull off if you need to, so it's quite a modular setup. If I turn we'll turn the light on in just a moment here. We've got a little switch there to turn the whole system on or off. And then we have like the floodlight there, which currently can't turn on. But then as you adjust the power splitter, power flows and we can turn it on. So that would be a way when I make larger manufacturing places that I can control where the power is going. But for the meantime, I've actually got my little buddy Snail on my shoulder. I just need to feed some seeds, and he produces all the light that I really need. Yeah, so now it's time to make some tethers. Never leave home without some. But the idea of the personal oxygenator is that with a little bit of power, you don't actually need to be constantly worried about being tethered. And I find that if you have 2 of the small RTGs, the little power supplies on your backpack, plus your jetpack, oxygenator and hoverboard, which obviously also takes up a slot there, you're pretty darn mobile. I've got sort of a plan with the trains where it's going to have sort of a backpack station on the train, so when we go long distances we can be multifunctional in exploration, so we'll have some different things. And I think next episode we might also go get one of the other vehicles. Once we have the personal oxygenator and stuff, it won't be so hard. Here we go. I still love the design of these ships. That looks so cool when it's taken off. Whee! Spin around. So there we are. Silver. Nope, not those ones. We want Atrox. We also have to check out the space station at some point. I went straight past it. I don't know. See, this is what happens when you play when you're tired. You're like, hang on, there's the one. Atrox. It says there as well. Helium, amongst other gases, is the one we want. But it has very low sun, very low wind, very hazardous, aggressive flora, and treacherous terrain, and a choking atmosphere. Really an inhospitable place. But that's where we're going today. I really should be careful going to this place. So we need to pick a suitable landing spot. We're trying to pick the worst of a group of bad ones here. You can see one of the ancient structures down there. I usually try and like to find a place near one of them. It's very peaceful, drifting around the planet in orbit. There we go. I picked that one for whatever reason. I'm also currently listening to an audiobook, a very good series called The Children of Time. Very good space travel and all about communicating with people, well, things other than humans. So here we are, anyway, on Atrox, and as you can see, some hostile things over there. Not the true hazard, a bit of a spiny leaf thing. Definitely I would recommend for people playing this game, when you come to a hostile planet, clear off all around the landing area. Those ones are growable but not mutated. I'm always fascinated by these, the flora in this game, so I'm always trying to mutate stuff. We have a chemical lab, a couple of different bits and pieces. Landing pad's a good one. It's also a quest to get a landing pad on every world. There we go, nice and neat. One of the other advantages, did I bring two of them? One's an atmospheric condenser. If you're playing with someone else, having two ships come to a planet, you can bring a lot of stuff. And what I probably could have done is actually gone back and got some more stuff. Power production on this planet is quite difficult, so I could have brought some medium generators. Yeah, we want helium. That's the one we want. But obviously we're going to need some power for that. And I don't think I actually brought any things to make power. That's quite genius of me. I have my little RTG, sorry, but I don't think that's going to quite do it. So I think we're going to go on a little bit of an explore here. We can see some big flowers around. Yeah, got to get the oxygenator from the ship. Beautiful. And yes, before anyone does comment, I know that the image in the screenshot for this episode is an oxygenator, not a portable oxygenator, but there doesn't seem to be any good photos of the portable oxygenator that I could find. So please correct me if I'm wrong. And here we go, exploring out into this mysterious land. It really is quite inhospitable sort of landscape. Very easy to fall down there and be dead very quickly. Yeah, I was wondering if that was organic, but no, I mean, not technically, not organic that I can use anyway. Like that ominous glowing thing in the distance there. And there's one of those spheres down the bottom. You know, I probably could have done, would have made this easier as well. You know, always hindsight's 20/20. Ooh, yeah. I am currently getting shot at. But I could have brought one of those big orbs. But yeah, those things are currently shooting at me. And there we go. What just happened then was those little projectiles explode. And as I mentioned before, hydrogen is explosive. So I exploded. And then so did my ship because... Oop, they're still shooting at me. So I exploded. Because it had hydrazine in my backpack, and then the ship also exploded because the thrusters were hydrazine. So that was a massive blunder. And then I'm just panicking and making sure everything is now dead. It's about this point, maybe it's not till later, I realise what's actually missing from my ship. I was thinking I was in a bit of shock at that time. I'm just trying to make sure all these plants are now dead. Yep. And that's my backpack right there. I should realise that in a minute. The oxygenator survived, which is good, otherwise I would have been stuck in a permanent loop, because as you saw, I respawned from the ship. It looks like the landing pad also got destroyed. My snails are right, so that's the main thing. Nothing else really matters past that. But I've also got the rest of the bits. Geez, sometimes it just doesn't want to pick up properly. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, at this point, you know, I'm sick, I'm tired, and I'm, you know, obviously frustrated that I've had such a colossal stuff up. I don't have my jetpack anymore, or any of the hydrazine. And I don't think I realised it just yet, but I don't have a thruster on my ship anymore. Yeah, I still won't give up the various seeds I've collected. Oh, actually, they're the ones for my snail, which I have not picked up yet. Oh, I see it. The snail's actually underneath the hisbane seed, I think. I'm trying to work that out. I'm trying to grab that bit. Yes. The one thing about this game is sometimes it can be very fiddly to try and get things to sit where they're supposed to sit. So now I've recovered most of my stuff, and then I'm like, okay, well, what next now? I've totally thrown a spanner into my plans here, and I'm picking up some of the debris. I still don't think I've realised that's the snail eating one of the seeds, giving me the light. That's another quest I look forward to doing, is actually collecting all of the snails from each of the planets. See, there's me actually collecting the seeds and the things that killed me. Can't help myself as an explorer. Yeah, it might have killed me, but I'm going to learn from that. That one said volatile, so I think I just threw it away. Oh no, planting them. That's right, they're both muted. That's fine. So although we're in this sort of dire circumstances, we still need to collect, what do you call it, the helium. And I don't know why I don't use this little wind turbine that I find more. I could have just plugged it into, you know, pretty much anything I'm doing, but there is very low wind and very low sun. We're now going to need to gather some resources to be able to get things built. I'm still working out what I need. I've got too much junk in my backpack. I need some of that resin to make a small printer and get some things started. Yeah, we'll save those for later. Yep, I do actually like how the backpack is very restricted. You really have to manage what things you're using at all times. Although I usually keep the same things, it is good to be able to adjust them. Yeah, I think I'm floundering a little bit here. So now, after a bit of time, I've managed to get some printers set up and some platforms. Obviously got some resin together. You can see it on my backpack as well. I'm trying to get sort of that really basic infrastructure set up. And once again, I think next time I go to a planet, I'm going to have take 2 trips. And the first trip, take some of the basic stuff and clear the landing site. And then after that, set it up so that we can be able to produce stuff. So you take a couple trips and really try and plan it out better. I realise I need to get some Oops, my screensaver just kicked in. We need to get some fuel to get some of these things going, so I have to go and harvest some of the local safer flora to get some organic and carbon. I'm working out to make a solid fuel thruster. We need ammonium and aluminium. See, sometimes it just doesn't want, and then everything goes wrong. I've got all the ingredients, I just don't have the fine motor control to get it to happen here. So yeah, not the hydrazine, solid fuel thruster. We just need to get home. What is fortunate is each planet actually has the resources you need to get home if you are stranded on there. It can just be a bit of a slog sometimes. It's really like in Minecraft, you know, punching wood in a hostile environment. So you still got to start from the start again. Here I am just collecting a bit of the local organics to get just enough power to get the thruster going. Yep, see, I picked up the pin thing there and I still didn't decide to use it. I don't know if the wind is so low that you don't get any power from it, or if it's just not very efficient. I'll have to try that next time I'm in. And there we go, we can actually get home again now. You see I've also collected a few other little samples there. I can't help myself. And there we have it. We have our way home. Yeah, come on, let's go. Bit of a celebration there. But we can't leave yet. I cannot leave and go home yet without first collecting some of that delicious helium, I think it was now. I forgot now. We need to make our voices nice and squeaky. I'm just reorganizing things here. Badly. It is helium, yep. And then once again we just need a bit of power. What I actually decided to do here is collect enough of the organic to make cook it up into carbon for the little small generator. Got to reorganize myself as usual. And yeah, you can see I'm still living kind of risky here. You can see my oxygen tank slowly decreasing, but I'm close enough to home that I can get back in a hurry. And the jetpack went kaboom. The hoverboard here can also help you get back in a hurry. It uses just a little bit of power. Yep, there we go. It does take quite a bit of time, and running with such a little power it would take quite a bit of time. That's why I decided, okay, got it started. Let's now go get enough to make some carbon. So slowly clawing my way back from being utterly exploded to actually coming here, getting what I came here for, which is the helium to make the nanocarbon to make the portable oxygenator. Definitely are a lot of steps. I do have some stuff in an Excel document where I've planned out how I want to store things. And I think making a little flowchart of what I need to do to make each of the key alloys and stuff is going to be a really useful thing. Because I do want to make a sort of a little factory for each of the nano carbon alloys and things like that, because they are definitely using a lot of the higher tier building equipment and structures and stuff. And being able to go to a place and just pick up a canister of pre-made nanocarbon alloy sounds pretty cool to me. I'm going to have to work out how that works, because if helium can only be gotten from here, then is this a good place to make my nanocarbon and then ship it home? Or do I collect a whole lot of gas from here and bring that home? I think there's definitely some different ways you could do that. There we go. Run that three times speed there, or 300% faster. I'm trying to gauge, is it going to be ready before it needs more organic? I'll just give it some more organic. And there we go. First bit of helium should be coming up in just a moment. I do like the atmospheric condenser. It's quite a cool looking machine. There we go, lots of power now. And here we go. One nodule. Still got some time to go. I think I spend the next few minutes collecting more and creating enough power to be able to get enough for us to be happy with to go home. You can see my backpack there, we've got 3 full canisters, which will do us plenty. Definitely not leaving Sylvie behind. If I can just get him to attach. The struggle is real. And of course I will be making more hydrazine and hydrazine thrusters and hydrazine jetpacks. I'm just going to try and be more careful in the future. It's important that you learn from your mistakes. That was a really big one. I mean, the planet was not lying. When it said that it was hostile, yeah, no joke. So I'm quite glad to be leaving, being very careful not to choose the wrong planet, because I have limited fuel for this thruster, so I'm quite happy to be heading home now. Trying to find where I am. Dear. Even with the little beacons and stuff, it can still be hard to find your home and your landing spots. It's right there on the right there. And it is slightly different shape. You can see, yep, no, go back. Here we go, I got it. I thought I was going to overshoot it then. All the rubbish on my landing pad there. Tisk. I need to spend a whole episode just doing cleanup for everything. Yeah. Put that back. And I think I have a spare one. Do I have a spare hydrazine one? I'm not sure, but I will be upgrading that back to a hydrazine if I don't already. Yes, our little friends, the little flowers that absolutely kicked my butt. And some random thing. Really doesn't look like something you should be, touching. My little trophies from other worlds. Yeah, for me, this area is actually quite tidy. I know it could be better, and I will be working on that. Here we have our little alien samples. I was also thinking it'd be nice to make an actual little garden area. I know there's a thing you can do where you can change the color of the soil you're putting down. So I can make some interesting things with that. Plant that one. Plant that one. And they are very pretty ones. The ones that aren't going to kill me, at least. And so now we're reaching the final stages. Now that we've got the helium, I have to fiddle around here for a minute and get these things out the way. We do have plenty of the other gases that we can collect here. Not entirely sure what I'm planning here, but I know I'm going to be burning the Nano Carbon Alloy in just a second. And also, an individual chemistry lab for each of the items that it can make, and systems that collect and produce for it. I think it's going to be really fun to make. Yep, just need a bit of steel, which is over here, keeping it all together. There we go. And away we go. So I think that's one of my favourite machines. It sounds like the TARDIS, as I know I've said before, many times. And then I can't find the, of course, the oxygenator, even though I go past it twice. There it goes. Yep, just been past it. So like, okay, I'm going to put the nanocarbon in my backpack, and then when it comes up, it'll jump into there. There we go. Ah, yes. Finally. Ah, man, that was hard fought. So you hold down F to turn it on. I like to put it in your backpack because you can turn them on and off with hotkeys doing that way. For some reason, it connects me to the tether when I turn it on, but when I go outside of the tether's reach, you'll see that I'm still generating oxygen. So the oxygen generator takes 1 unit of power, and so does the hoverboard, and the portable RTG only produces 1 unit as well. So you can have one or the other, but not both. As you can see, it's not enough to actually refill the power supplies. And there we go, with the deadly flower seeds being tamed, for now anyway. Oop, just made a little motion then. Totally not scared of them now. That's where we're going to call it an end for today. Thanks everyone for coming along, and next time we'll be live recording.